Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Namrata Nagwekar. The High Court of Bombay at Goa issued notices to the state government and the South Western Railway over alleged illegal development works on the second track of the railway passing through the villages of Welsau, Pale and Isorsi. The activities in question are being undertaken as part of the controversial project of doubling the railway line between the cities of Hubli and Vasco.
High Court issues notices to state government and South Western Railway over alleged illegal development work. The development pertains to work on the second track in Welsau, Pale and Isorsi. The notices were issued on Monday based on the writ petition filed by the Welsau Panchayat. Welsau Panchayat challenged the ongoing work without approval or license from the Panchayat. The petitioner alleged that the respondents have neither obtained any permission nor have applied for it. High Court directed the respondents to reply to the notice and adjourned the matter for March 23rd.
As part of All India Tiger Assessment, the State Forest Department is gearing up to carry out the Tiger Census 2022 in March-April. The census, to be carried out in two phases, will include ground-based survey and camera trap method. NTCA Southern Zone has already conducted a 3-day training program that was attended by forest officials from Goa. The Forest Department personnel underwent training at Thippakaru Training Center in Madumalai Tiger Reserve in the Nilgiris.
State Forest Department will carry out the Tiger Census 2022 in March-April. This is a part of All India Tiger Assessment. NTCA Southern Zone conducted a 3-day training program for Goa forest officials. Second phase of training for state forest officials will be held in the coming 10 days.
Residents of Kaisua, Wagator, Chapara and other areas of Bardez Taluka without water for nearly a week. The PWD had put GI pipes on Monday, which burst after 30 minutes of resumption of water supply. All the residents have asked for water supply through tankers. They did not arrive. The 40-year-old cement pipeline has crumbled with the time.
Coastal Bardez faces water shortage even on Mahashivratri. Residents of Kaisue, Wagator, Chapara are without water for a week. Water tankers have been elusive. The pipeline, which was repaired on Monday, burst within 30 minutes.
आमची पाईपलाईन आहा जी उदकाची 200 ml ती 40 वर्सां पयलींची आहा आनी ती पाईपलाईन जावन आहा ती सिमेंटची पाईपलाईन आनी सिमेंटची पाईपलाईन जाल्ल्या कारणान 40 वर्सांची हेचे ओल्ड जाल्ल्या कारणान ती एक हे जाल्ली आहा सामकी कसमेल्ल्या भशेन जाल्ली आहा आनी गेल्या वर्सा आंगूरूच फुटलेले मातशे फुडें फुटलेले आनी ह्या वर्सा ह्या हेजे कडेन फुटले आतां फुटले काल ही शुक्रारा दिसा फुटलेले काल कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर PWDचो येयलो फुड्यान रावन तेंच्यांनी 8:30 मेरेन हे काम आहा तें करून आनी 8:30 उदीक सोडलें टेस्टिंगाक अर्द्या वरान परत ही पायपलायन आहा मोदी बसली आनी हांगा जॉयंट मारलो थंयसरूच परत ती उक्ती जाली आनी परत ते सेम प्रॉब्लम जाली बस्ट जाली पायपलायन आठवडे जाल्यार उदीकूच ना लोकांक कायसुच्या वागातर शापोरा कायसुआ खंयसरूच उदीक ना दाबोलवाडो उडोवाडो झरीन खंयसरूच आमकां उदीक ना पूण आयज कितें केलां येयन की आमकां GIची पायपां दिल्या 5 पायपां घातल्या एक 6 मिटराचे एक पायप म्हणजे 5 पायपां ही लायन ते कंप्लीट हांगसून ती त्या फुडल्या खांब्या पर्यंत लायन चेंज करता आनी GIची पायपां घालता जेणे करून ही परत हांगा पायप आहा ते बस्ट जावचे ना म्हणून
आतां सद्या उदीक ना तुमकां
आतां सद्या कांयच उदीक ना एक थेंब सुद्दां उदीक ना आयज शिवरात्र खरी पूण लोकांक न्हांवपाक सुद्दां उदक ना अशी आमची अशी धानल जाल्ली आहा.
Most graduate students from Goa wish to go out of the state to do their masters. With more than half of them wanting to go outside, this raises the question, why do students want to go outside state, and is the state providing good quality of education, sufficient facilities and job placement to the students?
Most Goan graduates wish to go out of the state for their master's degree. What is the reason for this exodus? Is the state providing good quality of education? Is the state providing sufficient facilities and good job placements? We asked the students where they will be pursuing their masters, whether in Goa or outside Goa, and why.
I want to do my masters from outside Goa due to obvious reasons. That is the scope for job placements and the availability of ample opportunities, the required exposure, the right skill training, which is like a sort of shield or a security as well as a hope for a bright future.
आफ्टर ग्रॅज्युएशन हांवें चिंतलां की हांव MA करतलें आनी हांव हें गोंयानूच करतलें कारण गोंयान ही फॅसिलिटीज आसा. थोडी लोक अब्रॉड वतात, थोडी लोक बेंगलोर वतात शिकपाक कारण गोंयान ते इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स आसनात जे ती सब्जेक्ट्स घेतात तांचे ते इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स आसनात अवेलेबल इन गोवा. आनी थोडी जाणां अशें म्हणटात की गोंयान शिकून ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी कांय आसना. वेरेज म्हाका अशें दिसता की इफ तुमकां ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी जायत जाल्यार तुमी स्वताहून हार्डवर्क करचोच पडटा. इट्स नॉट लायक गोंयान ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी ना, गोंयान आसात ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी, फक्त ते आमचेर स्वताचेर आसता की तुमी कितले आपलो हार्डवर्क घालता.
Do your masters there?
I feel that it would help me get a higher position, a higher job salary, and overall the outside Goa, I think that they educate students better.
Right now I'm not thinking to do a master's degree in mass communication, and if I would do a master's degree, so I'll be probably going outside the Goa. I'm thinking to give JET for entrance test of Film Television Institute of India.
We also asked the students why did they decide to do graduation in Goa.
Started with my graduation in the year 2020, the same year when pandemic knocked on our doors, and obviously there was the fear of this deadly disease all around the world. My parents, for obvious reasons, were quite skeptical to let me out of Goa to study, and as it is my dad's on a transferable job, so he was posted in Goa. So for that time duration, everything fell right in place. So I decided to pursue my graduation from Goa itself.
And they are in Goa for that. And why did I do my graduation in Goa? That's because COVID was happening and I didn't want to go to another state because there was obvious concern and worry and fear. So yeah, that's it.
The 18th COVID Expert Committee meeting had decided to allow 100% occupancy at gyms, spa, malls and schools. The committee decided this in view of the fact that positivity rate has fallen to 1.9. The committee, however, has insisted on taking of both doses of the vaccine. Border testing is also not required, the committee felt. For those coming from abroad, they will have to follow central guideline, but there too RT-PCR is not mandatory. GMC Dean Dr. S.M. Bandekar said.
COVID Expert Committee meeting decided to allow 100% occupancy of indoor spaces. The committee felt that border testing is also not required. No RT-PCR test required at airport. Super specialty departments will resume in super specialty blocks soon.
Yes, yesterday I had 18th expert committee meeting. As a chairman, we had about good discussion on whether we should go for 100% occupancy in the indoor commercial activity, and all the members were of the opinion that now that positivity rate has gone down to 1.9 and also the active cases being very low, everybody agreed that we should go for 100% occupancy in the theatres, in the gyms, in the spa and also in the schools. And the only thing we would insist still is to have a full vaccination certificate, that is both the doses of vaccine, because this will also encourage people to take vaccine, those who have not taken so far. Otherwise there is no, even border testing has been considered to be not required, and people who are coming from abroad, we will follow the Government of India central guidelines, and there again RT-PCR is not mandatory. Even the, when you go to the theatre, what we have said is that masks should be worn and people should also use sanitizers, and if somebody is symptomatic, means having fever and all, he should not enter the hall. So these were the few precautions that we are given, but it is very essential that we come back to normal now, including the functioning of the hospitals. We are also thinking that we should go ahead with separate kind of arrangement, and super speciality block we have almost closed down for COVID, and we are going to start super speciality branches very soon, including the OPDs of super speciality in that building.
Mahashivratri was celebrated on 1st March. Mahashivratri is referred to as the great night of Shiva, and it falls in the sacred month of Falgun as per Hindu calendar. People who celebrate the festival not only chant prayers and sing hymns, but also observe a fast, which is referred to as Mahashivratri Vrat.
Devotees celebrate Mahashivratri with fast. People who celebrate the festival not only chant prayers and sing hymns but also observe a fast, which is referred to as Mahashivratri Vrat. People even observe Nirjal Vrat, in which they have to stay without food and water.
हे देवस्थान जे आसा एका इतिहासीक पार्श्वभूमी आसा. कदंबकालीन ह्या ठिकाणी हे शिवमंदिर उभे आशिल्लें. त्यानंतर मागीर कदंबकालीन जाल्यानंतर मुस्लिम बहामनी राज्य आयले. त्यांच्यानी जवळजवळ 15-20 वर्ष राज्य केलं. त्या टायमाक हेंच्यांनी काही मोडतोड केली. त्यानंतर आदिलशाही राजे आयले. त्यांच्यानी 27 वर्सां राज्य केले. त्यानंतर जे फाटल्यान आयले ते आमचे पोर्तुगीज 1510 गोंयांत आयले. त्यांच्यानी 1515 नंतर या ठिकाणी तोडफोड करपाक सुरवात केली आणि 251 वर्सां जवळ बाटाबाटीच्या काळात या देवस्थानाचे संबंध हाल झाले. हेच न्ही, गोंयांत जितकी म्हणजे देवळां आशिल्ली ते सगळे मोडतोड करपाचें काम ते पोर्तुगीज गव्हर्मेंटान केली 251 वर्सां. आणि 251 वर्सां जाल्या नंतर 1910 जेन्ना पोर्तुगीजान राजसत्ता आयली, प्रजासत्ताक, त्यानंतर गोंयांत लोकांक तेंच्यांनी एक संदी दिली, तुमी आपापली देवळां उबी करा, भक्ती करा आणि तुमकां जशें जाय तशें हें करा. प्रजासत्ताक राज्य आयले त्या नंतरची गोष्ट आसा. हे देवस्थानाचें वैशिश्ट्य अशें आसा की ह्या देवस्थानाचे मोडतोड जाले सुद्दां आसून सुद्दां आमच्या 1921 नंतर सुद्दां ह्या ठिकाणी लोक शिवरात्री रातचे येताले, उदक व्हांवते आसताले आणि लोक रातचे येवन रावताले, अभिषेक करताले, सकाळी उठून वताले.
गोवा हे शिवशंकराचे माहेरघर म्हणपाचें, घरच म्हणपाचें, कित्याक हांगासर जी जितकी देवळां दिसतली तुमकां ती शंकराची देवळां चड आसा भितून. आनी गोमंतकाची आस्था ही शंकराचेर आसा. आनी आयज ही शिवरात्र सगळो गोवा, फूल गोवा व्हडल्या दबाज्यान साजरो करता. त्याच प्रमाणे हे आमचें देवस्थान ह्या वर्सा आमचें काम चालू आसा. मदलो कोविडाचो पिरियड येयलो. 2019 सुरवात जाल्लें काम कोविडा खातीर मातशें थंड जालें. आतां जातलें. काम चालू असल्या कारणान आमची मातसो उत्सव जो आसा तो मातसो आमी लिमिटेड रिस्ट्रिक्टेड हितूनसून आमी साजरो करता. आनी आमी सगळ्या गोमंतकांक मागतात की तुमी येवन पळोवचें. हे अशें एक देवस्थान आसा की जे श्री छत्रपती महाराजान, शिवाजी महाराजान हें बांदलेलें देवस्थान 1668 सालांत. हेका व्हडलो इतिहास आसा. हे देवस्थान पयलीं दिवाळे आसलें. ते आदिलशान पयलें मोडले गेले. आदिलशा नंतर पोर्तुगीजांनी ते तोडले. अशा परिस्थितीन सुद्दां भाविकांनी जावं हांगासर ती पिंडी हाडून दवरलेली आनी ती पिंडी शिवाजी महाराजाचें जेन्ना दर्शन घेतलें शिवाजी महाराजान तेन्ना तांकां दिसलें की हें देवूळ बांदचें. आनी तेंच्यांनी हें देवूळ 1668 सालांत बांदपाक सुरवात केली. आनी आयज हे दिमाखान आमकां देवूळ दिसता.
Sagun Gowde and Prakash Gadekar for Herald TV.
A win tomorrow against Kerala Blaster FC will help the Islanders of Mumbai City FC to seal their place in the ISL season playoff. Presently, both the teams are in the race to make it to the playoff. Mumbai City FC has 2 matches in hand with 31 points.
Kerala Blasters had a few shaky games, but then they bounced back with a 3-0 win in their last outing. So seeing how Mumbai also registered an all-round performance against Goa, how are you looking to approach tomorrow's match?
I think we just keep concentrating on ourselves. I've said I'm not too interested in the other results and how other teams play. It's more important that we look at ourselves and make sure that we continue our run of form. You know, we started the season extremely well. And I spoke about finishing the season as well as we can. And, you know, we come into this game with 4 wins out of the last 5. We've kept 2 consecutive clean sheets. And we've started to show some real good signs of how we want to play with and without the ball. So the focus will be on us. We must really make sure that we continue the same approach that we've had that started the season well and that has put us in a strong position to finish the season. We've spoken all season about being consistent in how we approach every game. And that's something that has put us in the position that we're in, which is a good one going into the final 2 games. So it's important that we don't change anything in terms of how we approach this game. And we certainly haven't done in terms of on the field or off of it. We just must focus on making sure that we play the way that we want and we play as well as we can. So what was the second part? Sorry, Puba.
Means how much confident are you after 2 back-to-back clean sheets? That's been long.
Yeah, I think the last few games, you know, if you take the last 5 games in particular, with the exception of 4-1, you know, it was an area during that 7-game spell where we conceded quite a few. So in the last 5 games, you know, it's been very pleasing to see how well the back line, and it's not just the back line and the goalkeeper, it's the work rate and the understanding of the whole team to sort that side of the game out. It's important that tomorrow we continue to do that whilst also going back to making sure we play the type of football we want with the ball and some exciting football to watch from the sidelines. We've obviously missed a couple of players this season in that role. You know, we're losing Roland Borges early in the season. He's a fantastic player for us, and that was shown last year. So to lose Roland was a big loss, and of course then to lose Jahul against Jamshedpur was also another loss. And they're 2 very important players in 2 very important positions that are key to kind of what we do. What's been pleasing is how proactive we were as a club in the January window to bring players like a Vineet Rai in to help support us and continue making sure that we can play. And what's been good is that, especially in the last 2 games, you know, we've played without Jahul. And not only have we played without him, but the players that have come in have performed. And we've come away with 2 wins. So we've shown that we can play without him, as well as Roland. Now, I'd love to have both of those players available for all of our games this year. But the thing I am happy with was the performance of Apoya, whether he plays as 1-6 or alongside somebody. And then those that have come in to support us as a team. And that's been the big thing that's got us to where we are. Again, they scored early. And then they hit a second just after half time in it kind of, you know, 2-0 straight after half time. And then we lost Matada Fall and then there was a penalty given. So we were 3-0 down. We had a player sent off on the 55th minute. So, you know, it went to 3-0 and it stayed at 3-0. So I felt that was a little bit of a false indication, you know, of the rest of the game. We need to make sure, of course, we keep 11 players on the field. And that was a long time ago. It'll be a totally different game. We've obviously developed what we want and players are a lot clearer on kind of what we want with and without the ball now. So the last game for me is irrelevant. It's important that we just make sure we continue on the road that we've certainly shown over the last 5 or 6 games, that we stick to that. It'll be a very good game.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alert, please follow us on Herald on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.